What's up, Bears fans?
And welcome to Ursinus College Sports Network. I'm your co-host, James Schold.
And I'm your co-host, Steve Weissman. We had another action-packed weekend of Bears sports, which we will go over in this past week's recap.
To go with this week's recap, we have interviews with both Marco Grenda and Tyler Lewin after Saturday's win over Johns Hopkins.
All right, Bears fans, let's get right into it.
Let's go.
We present to you Sports on Main.
The women's volleyball team celebrated Senior Day on Saturday. However, they unfortunately fell to Dickinson and Rowan University 3-0. Claire Worley had 20 assists against Rowan, and Gabby McGinn had 12 digs against Dickinson. The Bears also had another match on Tuesday against Swarthmore College, again falling 3-0. Katie Cressman led the Bears with 8 kills and 15 digs. The Bears will hit the road Saturday to play McDaniel at noon. On Saturday, the men's soccer team picked up their second top 25 win against number 5 Johns Hopkins. 13 minutes in, Marco Grenda was able to score on a pass from Joshua Coaster to take a quick 1-0 lead. For the remainder of the game, it was Tyler Lewin's 5 saves and the Bears' defense on full display as the Blue Jays were unable to find the back of the net, making your final Ursinus 1, Hopkins 0. Last night, men's soccer went to Allentown to take on the Mules of Muhlenberg. Even with a slow offensive start, the Bears were able to get the action going 42 minutes in on a Patrick Tormey goal, tying the game at 1 apiece. Then, in the 66th minute, Marco Grenda scored, assisted by Tommy Mollis. For the remainder of the half, the Bears' defense, led by Tyler Lewin, was in full swing once again as the Mules didn't score in the second. Ursinus won 2-1. After these past 2 wins, we decided to sit down with Marco Grenda and Tyler Lewin via Zoom to talk about last weekend's big win, last night's win, and the games ahead. Here's what they had to say.
Hello, Bears fans. I'm Steve Weissman here with Marco Grenda of the men's soccer team. Thank you so much, Marco, for coming out and doing this with me. How you doing?
Good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
I'm doing well. No problem. All right. So let's jump right into this. You guys are now on a 2-game win streak, with the first win obviously coming over number 5 Johns Hopkins, and this win was the highest ranked win ever for you guys. How can you keep the ball rolling, and what do you guys got to do to keep the momentum going against FNM on Senior Day?
I think it really comes down to just working as a team again. Like, as long as everyone's doing their job and we're all working together, in unison, we know what we're doing in training and everything's to prepare us for the game against FNM. So I really think it comes down to just as long as we're doing what we're supposed to, keeping our bodies healthy, working as a team, I think we're going to keep the ball rolling in the right direction.
Yeah, you guys know what to do. It all just comes down to execution. Yeah. All right, so now on to you yourself. You now have 2 goals, or you have 1 goal in 2 consecutive games, scoring what ended up being the game winner in the 12th minute against Hopkins on Saturday, and scoring the go-ahead goal in the 66th minute against the Mules last night. I think it's clear by now that you really mean business this season and that you are emerging as a leader for this young Bear squad. What are you trying to do personally to motivate everyone else around you, and what do you think needs to be done as a team to try and make a run at the CC title?
To be honest, there's not anything one thing that I'm trying to do to motivate the team. Really, it comes down to just, again, I'm very team oriented. So, we're all working off of each other. Someone has a good game, we're all feeding off their energy. Someone has a, different person has a good game, we're feeding off their energy. So it really comes down to just, again, the team as a whole is just really working hard right now. And as long as we all keep working, I don't see why not we can make a run, for the Centennial Conference Championship.
Yes, sir. You guys are really meshing together at just the right time when you need to. All right, last question. With Saturday's matchup being Senior Day, what emotions do you have going on through your head right now? Because you're only a year away from that. I know it doesn't feel like that because of everything that's been going on. And what do you have to say about the guys that are graduating? This is their last go.
To be honest, there's a lot of emotions, especially, being the seniors last time on Patterson Field. I've been there just in high school, Senior Day. It's your last time playing in a game at your home field and everything. And so just really, I want to go out there and try and do my best in everything we can to really get a win for those seniors, because you don't forget your Senior Day. You remember, what you're doing, what you're thinking, everything. And so really, it would mean the world to the seniors and even just the underclassmen, just to be able to provide a win for those seniors, in that senior day, especially against F&M.
Yeah, nothing sweeter than beating the Diplomats.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you so much, Marco, for coming out and doing this, taking time out of your day. I know you're busy. You got practice in a couple hours.
Mhm. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Go get him Saturday.
Thank you.
How's it going, Bears fans? James Schuld here, UCSN, with Tyler Lewin, Ursinus College men's soccer goalie, two-time defensive player of the week. Just got his second one this past week. So, Tyler, just talk to me about that. How does that honor feel?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely cool to be recognized. I think anytime you're playing well, you appreciate that. But at the end of the day, there's always 11 guys on the field. I think as much as it is an award for me, it's really an award for the defense and the rest of the team. It's a collective effort every game. And as nice as it is to get those awards, they're kind of insignificant in a sense to me because at the end of the day, we want to be playing in November. We want to be playing in the Centennial Conference playoffs and the NCAA tournament. So I think those awards are nice here and there, but at the end of the day, that's definitely nowhere near the end goal.
Yeah, no, definitely, but still great to have nonetheless. And going into some team talk that you were talking about. So, guys had a win against number 5 Hopkins this past weekend, 1-0. You posted your 4th shutout of the season, and it was the team's first win over Hopkins since '94. So, just take me through that. What it means to finally get over this hump of beating Hopkins. Number 5, and everything that went into it. Really.
Yeah, for us, I think we had a couple unfortunate results this season where we maybe dropped a point here or there in games we could have snagged 1 or 2, but we knew it was a game we needed to win if we want to have a chance at making it into the conference, and to beat our second nationally ranked team this year after beating Washington College is pretty big.
Yep.
The coaches had a game plan that they wanted us to stick to, and every person that stepped on that field executed it perfectly. Defensively, it was just a stand-up performance from the guys, and not even on the field, off the field too. The guys on the bench, they were there, they were rowdy, they were keeping us in the game, keeping us energized. So it's one of those that regardless of what your role was on the day, you made an impact.
Yeah, and certainly one to remember for sure.
Yeah.
So riding off the high of Saturday's win, you guys take that into last night against Muhlenberg with a 2-1 win where you had 6 saves. And another great defensive effort for you guys. What's been the key for you guys lately, honestly?
Yeah, I think for us, communication has been a big part of it. Just the bond that we formed off the field has really helped to transition on the field. We're out there and we want to work for each other. We're all brothers out there, and we're a really close-knit group of guys. So every time you cross that line, you want to go and give your all for your brothers. You want to go through every tackle knowing that everyone else on that field would do the same for you. And on top of that, we've had guys that come in and make impacts. We've had younger guys, especially last night. The goal to tie it up was scored by a freshman, Pat. So
Yep.
just having guys be able to come into the program from day one and start to make an impact. Especially, I got to give a big shout out to Josh as one of the freshman defenders
Yep.
in my back line. Just these guys that are able to. It's really big.
Yeah, no, definitely it is really big. A lot of big play from underclassmen, just like guys buying into the program, like really shows a lot in the steps you guys have taken over the years. So, with the win over Muhlenberg last night, takes you guys to 8-5-1 overall, 4-3 in conference play. So, how does that feel going into this weekend in another conference matchup against F&M? And then, for the rest of the season overall with November looming?
Yeah, it's definitely a big push for the confidence, but at the same time, you can't let that confidence turn into cockiness. We know that they're ranked 17th right now in the nation, and you don't get nationally ranked by doing nothing. So we know it's going to be a big game, but we know it's a game that we can compete in, and we have a set game plan. And if we stick to it, myself and everyone else feels really confident in the work that we can put in. So we have today and tomorrow to put good work in these next 2 practices and come out, especially I think with it being senior day, it really lines up well for us to go out there. There's no reason we shouldn't be playing with our hearts that day, especially knowing some of these guys, it's their last chance to step on the field. And then from there, after that, 2 games left. So we're in the final push of it, but I say 2 games left. That's at a minimum. We want to make the playoffs, so we're hoping for much more than 2.
Yeah, no, and just hopefully a 3rd win against a top 25 team could really make some serious pushes for you guys.
So
Yeah.
I think those will all help. But Tyler, thank you for the time. I want to wish you the best of luck this weekend and the best of luck in the rest of the season going forward. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
The field hockey team had 2 games this past week, Saturday against Dickinson and Swarthmore College on Wednesday. Ursinus dropped Saturday's bout 2-0. They managed to get 20 shots but were just unable to capitalize and find the back of the net. Thankfully, the Bears figured it out by Wednesday, coming out victorious 1-0 against Swarthmore College. Jordan Moore scored the lone goal for the night, finding the back of the cage with 17 minutes remaining in the first half. The Bears had a clean defensive night, with goalie Jordan Olsch notching 5 saves, as well as holding the Garnet to under 10 total shots on the night. The Bears look to find another victory this Saturday against McDaniel. On Saturday, women's soccer also took on the Blue Jays of Johns Hopkins, who are ranked 2nd in the nation. The Bears' defense was able to play a solid first half, only allowing 1 goal to Hopkins. However, the Blue Jays were able to get the offense going in the second half as they went on to win 5-0 over the Bears. Last night, the Bears then took on the Scarlet Raptors of Rutgers Camden. The Bears and the Raptors' defenses were both firing on all cylinders as the Bears and Raptors ended the game in a 0-0 tie. This Saturday, the Bears will await a visit from the Diplomats of Franklin and Marshall at 3 o'clock for Senior Day. The men's golf team had their final 2 tournaments of the fall season this past week. Monday at Bent Creek Country Club in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and Tuesday in Sugarloaf, Pennsylvania at Valley Country Club. On Monday's Franklin and Marshall Invitational, Ursinus placed 13th with a team total of 344. Jordan Pick led the way for the Bears with an 8 over par 79. On Tuesday, the Bears matched up against Rosemont College, unfortunately falling to them by 11 strokes. Valley Country Club happens to be Jordan Pick's home course, and he was able to hold up his end of the bargain, shooting the best overall score in the match, a 7 over par 78. Evan Coffey placed 2nd for the Bears, shooting a 90. The Bears wrapped up their fall campaign with this match and look forward to bouncing back this spring.
On Saturday, the football team traveled to Westminster, Maryland to take on the Green Terror of McDaniel College. The Bears' defense was locked in as they forced 7 turnovers from the Green Terror. 2 key turnovers came in the 4th quarter with a fumble recovery by John Klee, which led to the go-ahead touchdown from Sam Ragland, and then followed by the game-sealing interception from Ryan DeVirgilis to close out the win for the Bears 18-14. The Bears will travel to Bethlehem this weekend to take on the Greyhounds of Moravian University.
Both the men's and women's cross-country teams traveled to the interregional border battle at Rowan University on Saturday. The women's team placed 19th, led by Rachel Konhoff with a time of 23 minutes and 26 seconds. The men's team placed 27th, and they were paced by Christian Rosado with a time of 27 minutes and 19 seconds.
And now for this weekend's preview.
The women's volleyball team is starting off the action on Saturday with a doubleheader in Westminster, Maryland. At 12 o'clock, they are facing McDaniel College, and at 3 o'clock, they are playing Goucher College.
Men's and women's soccer will host Senior Day on Patterson Field against the Diplomats of Franklin and Marshall at 12 and 3 respectively.
The field hockey team is also traveling to Westminster to face McDaniel College at 1.
And finally, football will take a trip to Bethlehem to play against Moravian at 1. And that just about wraps up everything we have here at Sports on Main.
Make sure to check out all of our social medias. The links are in the description below. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and make sure to tune in next Thursday at 7:30.
From all of us here at Ursinus College Sports Network, I'm your co-host, James Schold.
And I'm Steve Weissman.
And as always,
Go Bears.